What if a single hidden letter could change the course of a life, and even inspire millions around the world? Sometimes the most powerful stories are not the ones shouted from the rooftops, but those quietly tucked away, waiting to be discovered. This is the story of a secret message, a bond between a legendary icon and a brave young boy, and how hope can be found in the most unexpected places. In the autumn of 2009, Neverland Ranch was cloaked in a muted golden hue, a somber reflection of the world's grief after the sudden passing of Michael Jackson. The once vibrant estate, alive with the laughter of children and the melodies of music, now stood silent and still. The dry maple leaves rustled softly in the gentle breeze, whispering a final farewell to a man who had left an indelible mark on the world. Inside the vast ranch, there was one room that had remained untouched for nearly 2 decades. A private sanctuary where only Michael and a select few trusted friends had ever entered. After months of neglect, a restoration team was finally called in to breathe new life into the space. Their mission seemed straightforward: refinish the worn wooden floors, tidy the furnishings, and prepare the room to become a memorial museum honoring the King of Pop. But fate had other plans. One afternoon, as the pale sunlight filtered through the window, a carpenter named Ben noticed something unusual: a narrow gap near the wall that didn't quite fit with the rest of the floorboards. Curious, he tapped lightly on the wood. The sound was different, hollow in a way that suggested a hidden space beneath. With the careful hands of someone experienced in restoring old mansions, Ben pried up the boards to reveal a small, square wooden compartment. Inside lay a single object: a faded yellow envelope, its edges frayed by time but still sealed tight. In the corner, a shaky handwritten note read simply, "For JD, in case I'm gone." Ben's hands trembled as he handed the envelope to the Jackson family's legal representative. The room fell into a heavy silence. Every sound seemed to fade away, leaving only the quickening heartbeat of those present. The manager carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter and an old, yellowed photograph. The photograph showed a frail, bald-headed boy wearing a hospital wristband, clutching Michael Jackson tightly in a hospital corridor. The boy's eyes shone with hope, while Michael's smile was gentle but tinged with a sorrow few could understand. The letter was hurriedly written but unmistakably Michael's handwriting. The first line read, "Dear JD, I don't know if this letter will ever reach you, but if someday I'm no longer here, let these words stay with you in my place." The room was silent as the representative's voice trembled while reading the letter aloud. Michael recounted his memories of quietly visiting JD, a young Latino boy battling late-stage leukemia who had written dozens of letters pleading for help from the King of Pop when he was just 8 years old. In the letter, Michael expressed his deep sense of helplessness. "I tried everything I could to see you again, to take you out like I promised, but with too much pressure from the media, too many lies and legal barriers, I couldn't cross. I couldn't be with you at the end. I'm sorry. I kept watching over you from afar with music and love, hoping you would never give up hope." By the time the letter ended, no one in the room could hold back their tears. Michael wrote, "JD, if you're reading this, I want you to know you gave me more strength than you realize. I write, I sing, I fight every day because of hearts like yours. If one day you find the strength to go on, please help other kids like you, so the miracle doesn't end here." The letter closed with a trembling signature. "Always with you, Michael." What happens when a secret from the past suddenly shines a light on a hidden story of courage and survival? The discovery of Michael Jackson's letter didn't just reveal a private bond. It sparked a global search for the boy who had inspired the King of Pop to keep fighting. And what they found was nothing short of miraculous. News of the mysterious letter spread like wildfire. Fans around the world were shocked and deeply moved to learn that somewhere out there, a boy named JD had been the very reason Michael Jackson had kept his spirit alive during some of his darkest days. Online forums exploded with speculation and hope as fans, reporters, and investigators delved into hospital archives, old photographs, and rare fan letters Michael had sent to children. After weeks of searching, they finally uncovered the truth. J.D. was now a young doctor based in San Diego, the founder of a charity dedicated to helping children with cancer. At a brief but emotional press conference, J.D. held the letter tightly in his hands. His voice broke as he addressed the global audience. "Michael Jackson saved my life. When all hope was gone, I read his letter and knew I wasn't alone. I kept living, studying, and giving back, all to fulfill the wish of the man I owe my entire life to." In that moment, the world fell silent, not just because of the revelation of the letter, but because of a profound truth. Sometimes, the greatest miracles come from a single message of hope, a whispered belief, and a letter hidden beneath cold wooden floorboards for so many years. But behind the headlines and the public admiration was a long, painful journey that only J.D. and those closest to him truly understood. J.D.'s story began in the late 1990s, when he was just 8 years old, lying in a public hospital in Los Angeles. Leukemia had ravaged his body, leaving him bald, frail, and terrified. His eyes were shadowed with dark circles, reflecting the fear and uncertainty that gripped him and his family. His parents, poor immigrant workers, were nearly broken by the weight of their son's illness. They took turns sitting by his bedside, praying for a miracle in those darkest days. It was during this time that J.D. first heard Michael Jackson's music through an old hospital radio. The gentle melody of "Heal the World" filled the room, and for the first time in weeks, J.D.'s eyes brightened with hope. The song's message, that no one is truly alone, resonated deeply with the young boy. Moved by the music and desperate for comfort, J.D. asked a nurse to help him write a letter to Michael Jackson. It was a simple wish. "Dear Michael, could you visit me? Tell me stories, so I won't be so afraid." No one expected what happened next. Just weeks later, Michael arrived quietly at the hospital. There were no cameras, no bodyguards, just a man wearing a baseball cap and a mask, holding J.D.'s hand, singing lullabies, and leaving before dawn. That day became etched in J.D.'s memory forever. But the battle was far from over. J.D.'s illness worsened, and despite his continued letters begging for help, no further visits came. The following years were a blur of sickness, fleeting hope, and crushing despair. The family sold their home and moved into temporary housing, their dreams swallowed by mounting medical bills and endless treatments. When J.D. was 12, doctors gave a grim prognosis. Only months left to live. Then, by chance, his mother discovered a letter Michael had secretly sent, hidden among old bills. The letter's trembling handwriting and heartfelt apology sparked a new fire inside J.D. He read it over and over, tears streaming down his face, whispering, "If Michael believes I can make it, then I can't give up." And then, a miracle happened. J.D.'s health began to improve. He was enrolled in a new treatment trial and responded better than anyone had dared hope. After years of struggle, he fully recovered. J.D. grew up with a deep sense of gratitude and a burning desire to give back. The story of Michael and the secret letter remained his private strength through his youth. That belief helped him pass college exams, earn his medical degree, and dedicate his life to helping children battling cancer. He founded the Never Alone Foundation, an organization that supports hundreds of families each year, families just like his own had been. When the secret letter was finally revealed to the world after Michael's death, J.D. was initially reluctant to share his story. He feared the media spotlight and unwanted attention, but seeing the global outpouring of love and support from fans, he decided to speak out, not to seek praise, but to continue Michael's legacy of hope. Hundreds, then thousands, of letters began arriving at the Never Alone Foundation. From sick children, single mothers, and even older fans who found strength in the story of a hidden letter. The international press dubbed it the letter that healed the world. Why? What if the greatest legacy we leave behind isn't fame or fortune, but a single act of kindness that lights the way for others? Michael Jackson's story, and the secret letter beneath the floorboards, reminds us that hope can be a quiet, powerful force. If you've ever felt alone or lost, remember, sometimes all it takes is one word, one letter, or one small act of love to change a life, and maybe even the world. At the 10-year anniversary of his foundation, JD stood before a crowd of children holding that old, fragile letter. His eyes shone with emotion as he read it aloud, his voice trembling at times. "All we need is someone to believe we'll be okay." Michael Jackson did that for me, and I want to do that for you, for anyone who ever feels alone. Tears flowed freely among the audience, not just for Michael, but because they understood that the greatest miracles often begin with quiet pain and untold stories. A letter left beneath cold wooden floorboards for years, waiting for the right moment to bring hope to the world. Michael Jackson may no longer be with us, but his greatest gift was never just his music. It was his faith in kindness, in the healing power of a